This is what we've been waiting for, everybody. The stars are aligning, the pieces are coming together, and if you've been paying attention to what's happening with Zebec Network and ZBCN, you're about to understand why this could be one of the biggest opportunities of this cycle. Good day to you wherever you are listening in from, and welcome back to Goldrush Crypto Daily. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we're talking about ZBCN, Zebec Network, and why this Solana-based payment streaming protocol is now making massive moves into the XRP ledger ecosystem. We're talking corporate payrolls, we're talking real-time money streaming, we're talking about a token that went from 325 million staked to over 7 billion in less than a year. We could be seeing something absolutely massive unfold here, and I want to make sure you're positioned correctly. If you're excited about this, smash that like button right now, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's dive into why ZBCN might just be the sleeper of 2025. All right, let's get right into it. So one of the community members, Samila Stellar, just dropped something really interesting that connects directly to what Zebec is building. They're talking about corporate payrolls and tagging ZBCN, and here's why that matters more than you think. The Federal Reserve just raised the FedNow Instant Payment Network's transaction limit from $1 million to $10 million. Now that might sound like just another boring regulatory update, but this is huge for corporate use cases. We're talking real estate settlements, high-value B2B transactions, and most importantly, corporate payroll processing. Now, that's exactly where Zebec comes into play. Zebec Network is a Solana-based protocol, and now XRPL native, that specializes in streaming continuous payments in real time. Think about it. Instead of getting paid every 2 weeks in one lump sum, imagine your salary streaming into your wallet every single second of every single day. That's what Zebec does. It's not just sending money, it's streaming money. And with FedNow expanding its limits, we're seeing traditional finance infrastructure getting ready to handle these kinds of high-value, instant transactions. The bridge between TradFi and crypto is being built right in front of us, and Zebec is positioned perfectly to be the rails that corporate America uses for payroll. You can't make this stuff up. The timing is perfect. The Federal Reserve is literally opening the door for real-time payment systems, and Zebec has already built the technology to do it better, faster, and cheaper than anything in traditional finance. Here's my honest take. We are watching the early stages of crypto adoption in corporate finance. This isn't retail hype. This isn't meme coins. This is real utility meeting real demand from real businesses. I've been saying this for months. The next bull run isn't going to be driven by speculation alone. It's going to be driven by actual use cases, actual partnerships, and actual integrations with the legacy financial system. And Zebec is checking every single box. We saw this same setup back in 2017 before Ripple and XRP exploded. Everybody ignored the fundamentals until it was too late. Don't make that mistake again. Everything's pointing to something big. The infrastructure is being built. The demand is there. And Zebec is ready. Speaking of demand, let's talk about what's actually happening on-chain with ZBCN because the numbers are absolutely wild. So, another community member, Stormita, shared a post that just blew my mind. They're comparing where Zebec's staking was back in December 2024 to where it is right now, and the growth is just, it's insane. Back in December 2024, so less than a year ago, Zebec launched their staking program. Week 1, they had 325 million ZBCN tokens staked. Respectable start, nothing crazy. Fast forward to today, we're sitting at over 7 billion tokens staked. That's with a B, everybody. 7 billion. And we're not just talking about whales, we're talking 80,000 wallets actively staking ZBCN right now. 80,000 holders who are locking up their tokens, earning around 15% APY, and signaling to the market that they believe in this project long-term. Now let's put this in perspective. That's not people flipping for quick gains. That's conviction. That's people who have done their research, who understand what Zebec is building and who are willing to lock up their capital because they see the vision. And the price action. Earlier in 2025, we saw a 630% surge tied to the fact that 4 billion tokens got staked. Now we're at 7.5 billion, and honestly, the market is just starting to wake up to what's happening here. Zebec isn't just a Solana protocol anymore. They've evolved into a full AI-driven PayFi platform. They're integrating real-world assets. They're partnering with Uphold for custody. We're talking over $100 million in assets under custody by May 2025. And now they're launching their super app with crypto debit cards and interoperability across 18 blockchains. 18 blockchains. This isn't a one-trick pony. This is a multi-chain ecosystem play with real fundamentals and real growth. I'm going to be honest with you. When I see 80,000 wallets staking and 7 billion tokens locked up, I don't see retail FOMO. I see early adopters who got in before the crowd. And the fact that Zebec is still sitting at a market cap of around $314 million, that's laughable compared to where this could go. We're talking about a project that's solving a $50 trillion problem, global payroll, and it's sitting at $1/3 billion valuation. The math doesn't math, and that's exactly why I'm paying attention. I'm still confident this is the cycle where we finally see PayFi projects like Zebec break into the mainstream. The setup couldn't look better. This is the calm before the storm, and the smart money is already positioning. Now this is where it gets even more interesting because Zebec isn't just growing their staking numbers, they're expanding globally. Zebec Network just announced something massive for their carbon card. They're doubling their US dollar card coverage and expanding into new countries across Europe, Asia, Africa, and beyond. Okay, so here's what's happening. The Zebec carbon card is basically a crypto debit card that lets you spend your ZBCN and other crypto assets in real time, pretty much anywhere MasterCard is accepted. And get this, they just announced they're doubling their supported countries, and we're talking Australia, Japan, Ghana, Norway, Portugal, and well, a bunch more. Expanded access goes live on Monday. Oh, and they're also teasing some new currency options coming soon. Now, why does this matter? Well, it's because this is how crypto actually goes mainstream. Sure, you can talk all day about decentralization and blockchain technology, but honestly, at the end of the day, people just want to use their crypto. They want to pay for groceries, pay their bills, book flights, and Zebec is giving them the rails to finally do all that. Just think about it for a second. You're earning ZBCN through staking, you're getting paid in real time thanks to Zebec's streaming payroll system, and now you can spend it instantly anywhere in the world with a MasterCard-backed debit card. That's like a full-circle ecosystem right there. And the fact that they're expanding into Africa and Asia, those are the markets where, honestly, traditional banking is failing people the most. Those are the markets where crypto can actually change lives. This isn't just bullish for ZBCN. This is bullish for the entire crypto space. This is adoption. This is utility. This is what we've been waiting for. I love seeing projects focus on real-world usability instead of just pumping token prices. Zebec is playing the long game, and that's exactly the kind of project I want to be invested in. When you combine staking rewards, payment streaming, and now global spending access, you're creating a financial ecosystem that actually competes with traditional banks. And once people realize they can ditch their bank and use Zebec instead, game over. The infrastructure is here, the adoption is coming, and Zebec is leading the charge. That brings us to the next big story, and this one is absolutely massive. We're talking about Zebec integrating with the XRP ledger, and why this could be the catalyst that takes ZBCN to a whole new level. So ZBCN Man just dropped an absolutely nuclear thread breaking down the Zebec and Ripple integration, and I'm telling you right now, if you're not paying attention to this, you're missing one of the biggest moves in crypto this year. All right, let's break this down piece by piece because there's a lot to unpack here. First, Zebec Network, just went native on the XRP ledger. This isn't a bridge, this isn't a wrapped token, this is ZBCN built directly into XRPL. That's huge, because it means Zebec can now leverage the speed, scalability, and liquidity of one of the most battle-tested blockchains in crypto. Here's how it works. You stake ZBCN, you earn 10 to 15% APY from XRP liquidity pools. You participate in governance, you vote on hooks for payroll automation. And every single transaction, every payment stream, every drip burns ZBCN. That's deflationary tokenomics at work, everybody. Now, combine that with Ripple's on-demand liquidity system, ODL. Here's the flow. US dollars convert to XRP instantly. XRP then flows into continuous micropayments through Zebec's streaming engine, and the recipient can cash out into real-time fiat via MasterCard. Think about that for a second. We're talking about borderless, real-time payments that connect traditional fiat to crypto to fiat again, seamlessly. That's the future of money. And then there's the Uphold integration. If you hold $50,000 worth of XRP on Uphold, you're eligible for a 100,000 ZBCN airdrop pool. They're offering 6% cash back on US deposits, 4% in XRP, 1% in ZBCN, and 1% bonus up to $550 per month. That's real yield, real incentives, and real value for holders. But it gets even better. Zebec is targeting ISO 20022 compliance by Q4 2025. That's bank-grade infrastructure. We're talking Bank of America processing, RLUSD payroll integrations, Circle USDC compatibility. This is institutional adoption happening in real time. Now let's talk tokenomics. ZBCN has 93 billion tokens circulating right now. Final unlocks are scheduled for March 2026. Every payment stream burns ZBCN, creating natural deflationary pressure, and with XRPL liquidity pools potentially holding over $30 billion worth of XRP, the liquidity is there to support massive growth. Price action? In May 2025, ZBCN was trading at $0.0014. By June, we hit an all-time high of $0.007. That's a 500% move. Right now, we're sitting around $0.0037. Short-term targets, $0.009. But if adoption really kicks in, we're talking about dollar-plus valuations. Lightspeed Ventures, one of the most respected VCs in crypto, owns both Ripple and Zebec. They were early investors in Ripple. They led Zebec's $35 million funding round, and they're pushing custody-grade ZBCN for institutional clients. This is not a coincidence. This is strategic. This is long-term vision meeting short-term execution. So, here's what I think is happening. Zebec is positioning itself to become, well, the Netflix of money. XRPL steps in as the settlement layer, Zebec acts as the programmable cash flow layer, and ZBCN becomes the governance and yield token that honestly powers the entire ecosystem. The global payroll market is worth $50 trillion. Yeah, that's 50 trillion. Now, if Zebec can capture even just 1 to 2% of that market, and honestly, I think they can, we're looking at $10 to $15 per ZBCN based on the current supply. Now, I'm not saying that happens overnight, but when you look at the fundamentals, when you look at the partnerships, when you look at the liquidity, the staking numbers, the global expansion, everything is lining up perfectly. We saw the same setup back in 2017 before the real move started. Everybody was sleeping on the projects with real utility until it was too late. Don't be late this time. This is the calm before the storm. The setup couldn't look better, and ZBCN is ready to run. All right, everybody, that's where we're at with Zebec Network. 7 billion tokens staked, 80,000 wallets holding strong, global expansion happening right now, and a native integration with the XRP ledger that could unlock institutional adoption on a scale we haven't seen before. Stay patient, stay positive. The pieces are coming together, and I genuinely believe we're in the early innings of something special here. As always, this is not financial advice. Do your own research, invest responsibly, and never put in more than you can afford to lose. But if you're looking for a project with real fundamentals, real utility, and real growth potential, ZBCN is absolutely worth your attention. I appreciate every single one of you tuning in today. It means the world to me that you're here, that you're learning, and that you're taking control of your financial future. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, drop your thoughts below. Where do you see ZBCN by the end of Q1 2026? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell, because we've got another massive update coming tomorrow. This is Goldrush Crypto Daily. Keep your eyes on the charts, your heart in the game. Peace.